Hi, welcome to this new series, CWI Practice Questions. I've designed these practice questions for aspiring CWI exam test takers or for those welding inspectors looking to refresh their knowledge with regards to welding inspection. This is just a 5 set of questions, so it is perfect to start your day basically. I will run the first question of this 5 set. Which of the following is not a function of a welding inspector? A. Prepares inspection procedure. B. Qualify or certify welders. C. Auditing of vendor providing services but not the materials. D. Ensures conformance with the codes, standards, and specifications. So basically, these are the functions of a welding inspector. So A. The welding inspector prepares inspection procedure. So he documents how he will go about inspecting the weld during the activity. So during the welding activity, so he can impose an inspection points where he can witness the welding activity and provide what tests will be done for the welds. So to ensure the quality and for him to make a decision whether to pass or fail the welds. Qualify or certify welders. So there's a document called the welder's qualification test. So the welding inspector also provides qualification and certification for the welders for a specific type of welding activity or for a certain position and for a certain material. Basically, that document outlines that. Letter C, auditing of vendor providing services but not the materials. So for example, when a refinery is in a shutdown or a plant is in shutdown, so the welding inspector may be instructed to audit the vendor providing the services. But the last phrase is not good because he's also in charge of providing audit or inputs to the base metal or the materials that will be used in welding. The documents like MTRs, mill certificates, the factory standards that is used for the base metal, the production of the base metal, the testing or the destructive testing used prior shipment is also should be analyzed and scrutinized by the welding inspector. So letter D, ensures conformance with the codes and standards and specifications. So this is part of the basic function of a welding inspector. He needs to ensure that the weld quality, the base metals, and other aspects of the welding activity is in conformance with the codes, standards, and applicable specifications. So the answer here is letter C. So the welding inspector needs to also check the material specification that will be used in welding. Basically the base metal, not just the filler metals and the weld quality itself. It needs to be a holistic approach. Yeah, the inspector is also responsible for the quality of the base metal, as this can lead to failure if not checked. So basically, if you check the weld but you didn't check the base metal, so it will result to a failure eventually. Next question. If the inspected weld is found to be an IJP or incomplete joint penetration, what should the welding inspector do first? So this is basically a situational question. Reject the weld as it has incomplete penetration. B. Pass the decision to the NDT specialist. C. Clarify the drawing and consult with the design engineer. D. Ask the welder to completely fill the weld joint. So basically, this is part of the communication that the welding inspector needs to conduct during his day-to-day activity. Basically, here is letter A. It states that you need to reject the weld as it has incomplete penetration. So basically, if some welding procedure or some specification or drawings may not accept incomplete penetration, so that can be an answer. Letter B, pass the decision to the NDT specialist. So not quite. So basically the choice here is vague. So you may not need to pass the decision to an NDT specialist here, So it needs not to be specific to a non-destructive testing specialist. So it's just incomplete joint penetration. Basically, you can see the discontinuity or the defect just by looking at it. So the NDT specialist might not be the one, or one he may not be the one that needs to be consulted immediately. So letter C, clarify the drawing and consult with the design engineer. So basically, some specification or drawing specifies if the structure or the components to be welded are just are incomplete joint penetration. So it may be acceptable for some drawing or design documents. So you may need to consult your design engineer for this one. Ask the welder to completely fill the joint. So from my point earlier, so you need to consult the designer of the structure or the components if it is indeed an incomplete joint penetration. So the answer here is clarify first the drawing and consult with the design engineer. So you need to be in consultation first with the appropriate personnel that design the joints or structures. Next question. The term used to delay a production or construction schedule to allow inspection of a component or components of the work. So basically, this term is indicated in the inspection test plan. So letter A, pre-construction, B, inspection point, C, witness, D, hold point. So letter A doesn't make any sense. Basically, pre-construction doesn't align with what the question is asking for. Inspection point is a more general term for this one. Witness is one of the points that is indicated in the inspection test plan. D, hold point. Basically, this is the answer. It delays the production or construction schedule to allow inspection of a component. So what's the impact of a hold point? No? The hold point is if the inspection did not yield a positive outcome, the succeeding work activities related to that activity will not be able to start unless the test yielded a positive result. For example, the welding inspector may need to inspect first the weld joint preparation done by the fitters or the welder itself before proceeding with the root pass, the hot pass, etc. So he may ask or indicate in the inspection procedure or the test plan that the inspection for the joint preparation is a hold point. Thus, if he finds it unsatisfactory, the welder needs to rectify the joint preparation to the acceptance criteria so as to proceed with the succeeding activity, basically to weld the joint. Next question. Which of the following is not a good practice for maintaining an inspection record? Signing the inspection record, indicate the job name, location, and specific test information, ink or typewritten. Basically, the inspection record needs to be in ink or it is typewritten by a computer. The errors are single lined out. So letter A, so the welding inspector or the one that created the inspection record needs to sign the inspection record. So he needs to be accountable for it, basically, by signing his name. Indicates the job name, location, and specific test information. So it is essential that the inspection record has a corresponding job activity where the location may be. For example, if it is a plant, where the specific location, the activity is conducted in that plant, in the production area, for example, and the specifics of the testing that is done. So what is the acceptance criteria, what tests, procedures are done, etc. And it needs to be in ink or typewritten. For errors must be single-lined out, and what is missing in this choice, it needs to be initialed. So if errors are made during the remarks or indication of remarks in the inspection records, it must be single-lined out and initialed by the one who did it. Basically, it is the welding inspector that made those remarks. So if he has errors on it, he needs to be initialed as well. Last question. So NDT personnel other than CWIs are typically certified to what document? Letter A, AWS QC1, B, AWS D1.1, C, API 1104, D, ASNT SNT TC1A. So the answer here is letter D, ASNT, which stands for American Society for Non-Destructive Testing. Basically, these certifying body provides certification for NDT professionals. So that's it. If you want to kickstart your journey to become a CWI, I have a link down below in the description that will take you through a free online course regarding the introductory part of the fundamentals of the CWI exam. Basically, it covers the welding inspector roles and responsibilities and the welding safety practices. It also has a sample questions like these that you can practice with as a part of your preparation towards becoming a CWI. So if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more. See you on the next one.